again, what I was going to try did not work for some reason. Just more technical issues here. So I'm gonna wait and see if any people hop back on here. And while I'm waiting on people, I'm gonna take a look and see if I can figure out what's going on with this. Now we got that issue going on. Okay. Oh. Nobody so far. All right, I see one person on. Very strange. All right, I see Michael. Hi, Michael. Is it working now? Are we going? All right, got a couple people. Hello, Juan. What a weird, like, who really knows what's going on, honestly? You know what I mean? We're just going to go with it. Everyone, let me know. Let me know if I'm still glitching. Or let me know if this is working. Basically, it says there's only one person in here, but I've got a couple people in the chat, so I don't really know. It's just one of those days, I guess. I don't think were we talking about, we're always talking about some stuff that we probably shouldn't be talking about, right? I mean, we're supposed to have free speech on platforms now, but it's going to take a while for that to actually go into effect, I think. So, I don't know. I don't think we were talking about anything too bad. We were we were talking about the Department of Miseducation or something, weren't we? Was that what did it? I'm not sure. Yeah, I get that a lot. Tarun. Hello, nice to see you. There's Alex. Tommy. Plune. Hello, Test. All right. All right, we're rocking and rolling now. We are on. Let me know. If anything funky is going on, please let me know. Hello, Kiana. Let's see. Clear. Thank you. We're all celebrities, right? That's that Leo energy. Right? That's what this full moon in Leo is reminding each and every single one of us. Right? Leo is the energy of the star. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. All right. Clear. Hello. All right. We got a whole bunch of people on here now. I don't know if Annika's on here still. You know, this full moon in Leo is asking us all to harness that inner celebrity, to harness that inner goddess, to harness that inner God, that energy of the leader, the way shower. It's a really beautiful energy to step into, to embody, to really work with, and to allow yourself to notice where it is as you begin this process of seeking to express yourself, allowing yourself to shine, allowing yourself to be seen. What insecurities come up? What fears come up? And how can you love yourself through them? That's so much of what this Leo energy is all about. Really all the signs, right? But there are a few signs in particular where this self-love energy is so important. And that is it's Leo, it's Virgo, it's Taurus. These are some of the signs where we really see that journey and that quest for self-love. Let's see. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm not going to try that right now, Dark Shadow. I feel like there's something tricky going on there. Instead, we're going to start pulling some cards on this this full moon energy here. All right. Somebody else try what Dark Shadow just suggested and let me know what happens. See, now you're appealing to, this is like a psychological trick now. which would make sense with your name. You're appealing to that curiosity that's like, well, I said I wasn't going to do it, but what happens if I do? Right? No, Ranvi, I am in a beautiful divine partnership. You guys need to be old? What does that mean? Oh, thank you. Good morning, Tay. Is that New Zealand, NZ? If so, it is wonderful to see you. Does that mean that you were calling me old because you told me to do it? Were you on here when I said my age? I'm good. How are you, Benish? Benish. Ordinary. Trust me. If Spirit gave me the lottery numbers, I would have already played them. What Spirit's saying is the lottery numbers are metaphorical. It's not about the lottery in the ways. So this is something interesting, right? Do you know that the majority of people who win the lottery end up broke? And you know why that is? Because they still have a scarcity mindset and a scarcity mentality. So they win all that money, but then they lose it because they're not a vibrational match to that energy. So the true lottery numbers, the true jackpot, so to speak, is when we align ourselves with the frequency and the vibration of abundance, when we become abundance. Then abundance is endlessly and infinitely attracted to us. We don't need the lottery numbers because every single day is like winning the lottery, essentially. This is the energy that I'm working on cultivating right now. Waking up every day feeling like I've won the lottery, knowing that I've won the lottery. You know what I mean? One of my current mantras is I am dripping with abundance. And there's something about that. It's a very Leo statement. You know what I mean? It's like I can feel myself. It's like driving down the road with my sunglasses on. And like when you say I am dripping with abundance, there's like this energy to it. Like it feels very luxurious. It feels very, I don't know, it feels powerful, empowering. It's embodying the frequency of abundance. That's what it is. Yes. Dripping with abundance, dripping in abundance. Exactly. That's my new jam. Words are so powerful, and the way that you say them, the way that you speak them, the way that they make you feel. That's what it is. Feel how these words roll off your tongue, roll through your mind. What they make you feel like, the emotional and energetic frequency that they elicit from you tells you what's a good mantra for you and what's not. All right. Dripping in abundance. Exactly, Aitan. I love that name, by the way. Let's see here. The cup is always half full. The cup is always runneth over. All right. I bet it is a beautiful sunny day in Hawaii. I cannot wait to go to Hawaii. I was actually I was manifesting. I was doing my daydreaming, right? This should be homework for all of us, daydreaming. This is not a waste of time. We were just talking about this before we got cut off, right? Daydreaming is working your third eye. It is manifesting. It is creating. I was daydreaming about my property in Hawaii, my retreat center in Hawaii. And I was imagining your beautiful self as like this keeper of the grounds, keeper of the energy almost, sort of like holding her and supporting her. Because my goal is to have these communities and these retreat centers and these all over the world, right? Starting in the United States and then branching into other parts of the world too. And so I'm definitely was envisioning one in Hawaii, and I saw you there as like this just this beautiful supportive energy, kind of like holding her down. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we have here? I want to look through the comments. Exactly, Harsh. They don't know how to handle that much money. It's like we have to become the match for that. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Delana. That's a beautiful name as well. Oh, thank you. Is shame a good emotion to feel? Challenging path. All right, I did want to address that before we move forward. Shame is one of the most detrimental emotions that we can possibly feel. Shame is a vibration killer. Shame and resentment are vibration killers. Now, I want to preface this also by saying this is not to make anybody feel ashamed if they feel shame. All right, this is a normal thing. This is programmed into us, right? Within the false matrix, this idea of shame. And what is shame, right? So there's sort of a way that this was explained to me that made sense to me. Was they said guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am something wrong. All right, so no, shame is, it's literally feeling as though you are inherently bad or wrong. And it's that deep, it's feel into the energy. I mean, don't stay there, but what that energy feels like. It's there's a way to acknowledge, to be able to observe and acknowledge when we have done something that is out of alignment with our truth, that is not from the heart, and then correct that behavior without having to shame ourselves. We get stuck in the shame. We literally get buried in that energy of shame, and it drowns our vibration. So we want to be really careful with that, right? Shame is when we are told or we tell ourselves that we are bad, that we are wrong, that we should feel guilty or horrible about inherently who we are or what we are, right? Remember, all of this is an experience. It's not the truth of who we are. This experience is not the truth of who we are. That is the illusion. And shame keeps us stuck in that illusion. We can still notice where it is that we would like to adjust our behavior without shaming ourselves for it. Yeah. Yeah. Shame is just a shame, Dee says. It really is. It really is. Illusion. Exactly. So don't stay stuck in shame. If you made a mistake, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean, because shame is judgment, right? And judgment shuts down your vibration. That's why we have to learn to be an observer and to see ourselves as an imperfect being, a perfect being having an imperfect experience, right? An imperfect experience that we wanted so deeply to have. That's why we're here. But it's just an experience. It's not a reflection of the truth of who we are. Because what we are is infinite. And what we are is beauty and purity and innocence. Right? Part of how they kept us trapped within this illusion was by cultivating these energies of shame. Right? We can see this in religious doctrines. Right? We can see this in, for instance, a lot of people like to talk about Christianity, right? So we can talk about the Bible. We can talk about original sin. You came into this life bad, right? You came into this life with something so wrong with you that the only way for it to be forgiven is to what? And there's a lot of Bible people in here, right? So somebody can tell me, what is the way to be forgiven? To repent, to feel terrible about yourself, to follow this set of rules created by supposedly God, but written by men, right? And don't get me wrong, the Bible, there's a lot of beautiful stuff in the Bible and all religious texts. There's also a lot of ways that energy was inverted in order to subvert and control. That's why, just like with anything, we have to be able to discern. We have to be able to pick out the nuggets of truth and wisdom. Take what you like and leave the rest. That's it's so important to be able to do that. You know, there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of esoteric wisdom in the Bible, if you know how to read between the lines. But there's also a lot that is orchestrated. That guilt and shame are two of the biggest tools used to keep people feeling separate than God. That is the illusion that you are separate from God. that you could ever be separate from God. That is the illusion. That illusion of separation is the cause of all of the pain, all of the torment, all of the ills that we see within this dimension. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, especially working with addiction, dude. Shame takes people out all the time. All the time. Self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. I do readings, yes, a ton. You can email me if you want a personal reading. And I'm getting ready to offer some different ones too. Like right now I just do live 60-minute readings, but I just haven't actually written it down yet, but I'm going to be doing some other types of things too, just so people know. Like little recorded readings, one question readings, different things that are at different price points for people, because I know this is a challenging time for people, monetarily speaking and stuff like that. And sometimes people don't want or need a whole live 60-minute reading. So email me, let me know what you're looking for, and we can figure something out. Yeah. Let's see. All right. I would love to read the Bible, honestly. It's just there's so many things that I'm reading. It's on my list of priorities. It's not as far up there as some other things are. It's true. Michelle says we only feel emotions in the human experience. Yeah, especially these types of emotions. You know what I mean? Like emotions are different in different levels of being. Right? Like the human state of emotions, a wild up and down roller coaster. But this is part of what we came here to feel, what we came here to experience. This is the experience. You know what I mean? So like next time, you're having a really rough day, just like remember that, remind yourself of that. Like that's what you came here for, was to experience all that pain, all that heartache, all that sorrow. We're yapping away here. All right. So we're going to get into the cards a little bit here. I am not Jewish in this lifetime. No. In another life, perhaps. All right. We have the Ace of Swords reversed and the Hierophant as the first two cards out for this full moon, with the 10 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I'm very intrigued by the Kabbalah. That is on my list of things to read. That is something that I will be studying. I'll be studying that before the Bible because I find the Kabbalah very fascinating. And the tarot is actually, there's all kinds of Kabbalistic symbolism within the tarot as well. It's a whole esoteric. There's a whole vibe to the tarot. It goes really deep for those who are interested in exploring. And there's a lot of esoteric symbolism. All right, so with these two cards, let's feel into this for a minute. Ace of Swords in reverse is a lack of clarity. It's a breakthrough that's been avoided. This is interesting. So I'm feeling this energy here. This is the collective. This is a large percentage of the collective right now who is trapped in this programming still, the programming that we were just talking about, who's unable to receive the clarity because of this deep level of indoctrination. That's what I'm feeling from this right now. Tell me more about the Five of Swords. We have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. This is Virgo energy. So this is a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening that is seeking or is available to all those who seek it. So this is powerful. There's some type of powerful awakening. Remember, full moons, new moons, full moons, eclipses, these are all portals. Just like the 6-6 and the 7-7 and all of these energies and portals that we don't even have names for, right? So there is an opportunity here for illumination to those who are willing to see. And there still is a large segment of the population that's not willing to see yet. It's so funny how just as I said that, I looked down and I saw you ain't ready. Exactly. There's a lot of the population who are not ready. All right? They're not ready to see yet. But the opportunity is available. The next few years are going to be a profound process of we're going to see the masses awakening at a level that we haven't seen since the pandemic. But this is going to be an even more, it feels like, rude awakening. Like, they are not going to want to wake up from their slumber. This is going to be like when you force somebody to wake up who's real. And I'm thinking of myself because I hate being woken up. When they're having that really good sleep, you know what I mean? Really deep in those, like the theta brainwave, dreaming, and then somebody starts shaking you awake. That's what it's feeling like for them. And so I was watching this. It's so funny. My friend Tommy and I were talking about this earlier. I was watching this video, and it was talking about, I believe it was Marxism and the infiltration of Marxism and how they program people and indoctrinate people into Marxism without people even realizing it. And the ways that they subvert entire populations. It was like a psychological, like a psyop kind of thing. And they were talking about the ways that they program the collective and the ways that the US has been programmed in these different steps that have been taken. And they were talking about how people get to this point where they've been convinced of this version of reality so deeply that you can show them any evidence and they will not believe it. They will cling on. This is like cognitive dissonance, but to the millionth. All right. So this energy, like they will refuse. And we're seeing it in so many in the collective right now. It's like the information is staring them right in the face and they're refusing to see it. They cannot see it because it is so uncomfortable. Because it was so, I'm going to actually use Tommy. I don't know if he's still on here or not. But we were talking about this earlier, and he was talking about, so there's this show that my child liked to watch. It's called Boss Baby. And it totally is indoctrinating people into like the workers culture and all of that. You know what I mean? But still, it's not a terrible show. It's amusing. All right. So this was one of the shows that he watched as a baby. And there was this thing in there where, so he's a baby who has the cognition of an adult, right? He's just in a baby's body. And he works for this big corporation and he's there undercover. And so in this show, all the babies can talk, all of these specific babies that drink this specific formula. That it is a movie, yeah, and it's a TV show. They made it into a TV show. So there's this thing where it's like when they reveal themselves to adults as being able to talk, the adults glitch out. And it's like you literally see their brain short circuiting because they cannot handle the fact that a baby is speaking to them like an adult. And my friend was saying this is like what it's like for the population that that are beginning to wake up right now. It's like they're refusing to see the evidence right in front of them of what's going on in this world because like it's making their brains glitch out. So they're doing everything they can to not glitch out right now. Like resisting hook, line, and sinker because they simply cannot handle what the information that's coming to light right now is revealing. And we talked about this energy of the information coming to light. Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees of Aquarius, squaring the Shapley attractor at 2 degrees of Scorpio, right? Truth being revealed. It's a lot to come out all at once. Like a lot of us, we came into this knowledge bit by bit and piece by piece, and many of us were kind of more open to it to begin with, right? I believe that the starseeds and light workers and the people, the way showers, the people that find this channel, some people like to call themselves 144,000, the chosen, however you identify yourself or understand yourself, right? We came in with a little bit less of that indoctrination to begin with. So it was a little bit easier. We're talking about segments of the population that have been so deeply brainwashed and indoctrinated. So it's like we have to hold space for them. We have to have compassion But we have to know that it's going to be a wild process over these next few years. And not everybody's going to wake up. Some people are going to choose to stay asleep. And that's okay. That is their free will. This is a planet. This is a dimension of free will. But a lot of them are they're going to wake up. But not happily. All right, so let's see what else Spirit wants to say about this. Clear. What section is what? Exactly, Faith. Tell me more. We got the Queen of Swords here. So this is Spirit reminding you, continue to speak your truth. Be compassionate with your truth. And this is something that we're all going to need to begin to understand and realize moving forward. Right? Because a lot of us within the spiritual community, right? Like we all say, like, I came here to wake people up. You know, I want to wake people up. But a lot of times, like, we don't do that through brute force. We do that through love. That's what we need to realize and understand. We do that through love. Because like we said, these people are glitching out right now. All right. They are holding on so dearly to their idea of the world and of reality because they're terrified. It's terrifying to realize that everything you've ever been told is a lie, right? It's like not just the spiritual awakening, because think about this too. A lot of people that are waking up right now, they are not coming in with a level of spiritual connection yet. A lot of these people, it's just like the cold, harsh facts being shown to them, right? Without the spiritual, like the faith to rely on. So imagine how scary that would be to begin to be shown all of this corruption, all of these lies, all of this deceit, all of this craziness, but not have any faith in anything, not have any belief in anything, right? Like that is terrifying. So like that, we have to have an extra bit of compassion for that. So it's like, speak your truth, share what you know, but use compassion and use discernment with how and when you share it. I'm having to notice this even with some of my own family right now. You know, it's like there are things that are happening that are so incredible as the matrix is being broken down, right? As we are seeing the fall of the cabal, the death of the false matrix, as we call it, right? This is miraculous, but there's certain people that I can't share it with because they can't see that yet. And that's okay. It's okay. So I have to learn to be a little less overzealous. To be a little less, hey, Ma, check this out. You know what I mean? Because they're not there yet. And that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Kiana, because that's a reminder too. This energy of like, as they're going through this process, a lot of people, and we can remember this maybe from our own awakening journey, they're going to perhaps start to open up and then close back down again. Everything in the universe goes through a process of constriction and expansion. All right, this is a natural flow of energy. And so as our loved ones are beginning to awaken to what's going on, they're going to be periods where their heart is more open, where their minds are more open. And then there are going to be periods where they're more closed off again, where they feel like they need to protect their energy, where they start falling back on those old patterns, that old security. You know what I mean? It's like grappling around for the security blanket again. So just let them and just be there. That's all we can do. Just be there and speak our truth when it is called for, when it is asked for. It's like knowing and acknowledging, because nobody wants unsolicited advice, right? How obnoxious is the person that tells us what we should do when we never asked in the first place? We don't want to be that person either. Anything else here, Spirit? We are the ripple effect. Exactly. And you are what you say you are. Exactly. I am that I am. All right, we got the Four of Swords here. This is rest. This is healing. Then we got the 10 of Cups with the 3 of Swords. And I mean, here you go. This is just reiterating what we just said, right? This is the heartbreak when it's like I'm American, so I can use the frame or the terminology of like the American dream, right? When the fantasy comes crumbling down. All the things that we missed out on. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, now we're going into a different energy here too. There's something here, because remember, whenever we have this Leo energy, this is a heart-opening energy. This is a healing energy. Okay? So there's this energy here where I'm feeling like some people, there's wounds coming up right now around where it is that we feel like we missed out on our dream. So this is, and we've got Mercury retrograde getting ready to come up right now. All right, we've got Venus retrograde. We're in Mars retrograde. So there's a lot of revisiting here. And of course, Mars retrograde was in Leo, partially in Leo. Now in Cancer, Mars will be moving back through Leo after completing the retrograde. And like we said in the original version of this live stream, right before we had to restart here, Mars is at the degree that he will complete his retrograde at 17 degrees of Cancer. He's sitting there. All right, so there's a lot of these wounds coming up around home, around family, around childhood, around the things that we feel like we missed out on, around the circumstances that broke our hearts. And I'm feeling this energy really strongly too of like the one who got away for some people here. So there's a lot of this on our minds. There's a real need for healing here around illusions being shattered. Dreams that we feel are lost. But Spirit's saying, for some people, I'm feeling this energy of like the things that you forgot. Yes, Juan, absolutely. The things that you forgot, that you gave up on, that you thought were no longer for you. I feel like there's a second chance for some of those things coming through for people. We're talking about the full moon with the Uranian energy, right? That square from Uranus, the unexpected. For some people, it's like unexpected happiness that helps to heal that broken heart. This is also like where it was that perhaps you thought that a relationship was failing. It's like where you had given up on yourself or somebody else. There's like this hope coming through. There's this beautiful opportunity for healing here. It's like this full moon is showing us what's really important to us. And it's giving us an opportunity to address and to show up for what really matters. Yeah, Jamie, I'm sure. I'm sure. This is a hell of a time to start dating after being single for a while, too. Yeah. One door closes, another opens. Absolutely, Juan. So we got the King of Cups here with the 8 of Pentacles. This is you working on your emotional state. This is somebody becoming emotionally ready. This is also about us throwing our heart and soul into the things that matter to us, that energy we were just talking about. Investing emotionally in something or someone. And that Mars and Cancer energy is really showing us where it is that we want to be emotionally invested. Right? It's showing us where that energy is best utilized, what it is that we really want, what it is that is worthy of that emotional focus and that emotional energy, of that heart energy. Who and what is worthy of taking up space in that heart space. This is focusing on and working on the things that bring us true fulfillment. And for some, with this energy here, bringing this back up again, it's like not allowing the heartbreak of the past to prevent us from pursuing the fulfillment of the future. And for some people, I'm feeling, because remember, the Sun conjunct Mercury right now. Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury. receiving those downloads, receiving that mental reprogramming. For some people, it's the programming that's being shed right now has to do with this energy of abandonment, this fear of abandonment, this belief system that it's never going to work out for me. People are always going to hurt me, right? Like I never get what I want. These are some of the belief systems that are being called into question right now, right? And there's this, it's like being willing to go for it. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be home family, right? Being able to go after whatever it is that stirs your heart and your soul. Not being afraid. Not being afraid of losing it. Knowing that, remember we talked about how we came here, we're human, we came here to experience every aspect of this human journey. That the risk of losing it all is part of what we came here to experience. You have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain it all. All right, it's the energy, right? We have to have the equal exchange of energy. You have to be as equally willing to lose it all as you are to gain it all. Oh, I love my Virgos too, Jamie. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know a thing or two about those Virgos, those Virgo men and women, being that I'm a Virgo moon. Got the Six of Wands here. Triumph, recognition, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We're going to see if it comes back out though. That was just on the bottom of the deck. I'm less apt to read reversals on the bottom of the deck. It's feeling pretty upright to me. But it can be whatever we choose, right? It's all our choosing. Remember, I chose it and I love it. That is my mantra once again right now. I chose it and I love it. When you remind yourself of that, you stay in your empowerment. You remember every circumstance in your reality is serving you in some way or it would not exist. Even if it's simply serving to uphold a subconscious belief system that's ready to be rewritten. Sag in the house. All right, there we go. Love my Saggies too. I love that. Shemaiah says, for the tree to reach heaven, its roots must reach down to hell. And that is, we talked about the Kabbalah a little bit earlier, right? And that's the descent of the tree of good and evil, right? The dualities. That's what we came here to experience in this dimension. And I honestly believe that duality exists beyond the third dimension. I think duality exists like pretty much throughout our entire universe. Because this is a multiverse. This is it. Even multiverse doesn't do justice to creation because it is infinite. It's beyond the scope of the words that we have to describe it. All right. And I do think that there are universes where duality doesn't necessarily exist, perhaps, but go with me down this rabbit hole for a second. Source. Do people agree with me on that? Let me know what you think about that idea, that concept. That the only way that duality can cease to exist completely is when we unify once again with source. Anytime we're experiencing an imagined separation, which is in order for us to have any consciousness, any identity outside of the one, there has to be some degree of imagined separation, right? And if there is a degree of imagined separation, there must be some type of duality present. So we're the extremes of duality and the ways that energy forces us to feel like we need to choose a side. I think that's what we're moving out of. We're ascending out of as we ascend beyond the third dimension, back into the fourth, fifth, and ultimately sixth is where we're going with this one. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like some degree of duality will always exist until we merge back in with Creator. Hello, Raina. I think it's so interesting too how everyone is so eager to fully ascend, not realizing that means that you cease to exist as you understand yourself right now. Not just the ego version of you, the soul version of you too, all of it. You are just back to oneness. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It just makes me chuckle. Yeah. Yeah. Yin and yang, exactly. So we got justice coming out here. Tell me a little bit more about this justice. I just heard your just desserts. Oh boy, Johnny. The Celestine Prophecy is an awesome book. I was talking to somebody. I was trying to remember the name of that book. It took us like 20 minutes. I think it was my friend Tommy again. Going down rabbit holes of like trying to remember. I was like describing the cover of the version of the book that I read. Trying to like remember the storyline because I wanted to add it to my... So I have a list now for anyone who's interested. I have all of my favorite tarot decks are on there. A bunch of my favorite books on Benable. It's in my profile if you guys want to check it out. So I was making my book list and I was like, what is the name of that book? It was the Celestine Prophecy that I was trying to remember. That is fantastic. And they have more too, don't they? Like there's a sequel or a prequel to that, and I haven't read that. I've wanted to though. Yeah. You take care as well, Johnny Rebel. This is the Cosmic Rebel tribe, so we appreciate a rebel on here. Oh, nobody. Welcome to the tribe. So happy to have you here. Continue I look forward to continuing to connect moving forward. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Everyone should. I love the Celestine Prophecy. I love books like that. And I've been called to write some books like that. It's just like time, right? Where it like teaches you so many cosmic truths, but in like a fun story that's interesting to read. Highly, highly recommend too. Yeah. Yeah. The Celestine Prophecy is fun too, like when you're reading it. Because I remember once it was like somebody was walking by. I was reading it out on my stoop. This is when I lived in the city. And somebody walked by and they asked me what I was reading. And I was like, oh. And I went down this whole rabbit hole of the mysticism of how they asked me what I was reading. And it was this perfectly orchestrated moment to bring them into this conversation. And how the divine orchestration of everything. I don't know. It's just funny once you get into that book. It really takes you down some fun rabbit holes. Yeah. Yeah, everything is right. Everything's orchestrated. Everything's meant to happen. It's all happening in perfect time. Yeah. And we love Yeshua. Yeah, no, the Celestine Prophecy is really cool. And it's this really fun storyline, but it's teaching you all this stuff about manifestation and synchronicity and universal truth at the same time. So tell me about Justice. Why is Lady Justice here? And then we're going to grab a couple Moonology cards. We got the 9 of Cups. We got the 8 of Wands. We got the Moon. And we got the 2 of Wands. 6 of Wands and 2 of Wands were in reverse. Are we going to take that? Or 8 of Wands, rather. Are we going to take that or not? Let's see here. See what I'm feeling. This is your manifestation, your dream, your desire being delayed because there's something that's not clear. And what Spirit's saying is, with this full moon, make sure that you are clear on what it is that you desire. And some of you guys really check out if you aren't subscribed to the Minis channel yet, or if you're not following me on TikTok, do one of those two things because the little mini readings that come through, some of these are really good and really helpful. Because it leads into a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here. So this is the energy of like, get really specific about what you want. Don't worry about how it's going to come to you, but get really clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. And when we're working with this energy, a lot of times we want to talk about and we want to understand it doesn't have to be a specific thing, right? It's like, get down to the root of what you really want. A really good example of this that people use a lot of the time is like money. A lot of people think they want money. They don't want money. They want what money represents to them. What does money represent? It's going to be different to different people. To me, money represents freedom. Or money did. I'm working on that right now too. I'm working on understanding and really internalizing the understanding that I'm free already. right? That I don't need money to be free. That's still an indoctrination. That's still a teaching of the false matrix that tells us that we need money to be free, right? We can be free. You can be free in a jail cell with nothing but rags on your back, because freedom is here. Freedom is all in the mind. This is where they've caged you. This is where you have to release yourself from. That is so incredibly important. That was like a tangent there, right? But getting back to the whole point of this here, the specifics, is Spirit saying, so that's an example of that. What is it that you really want? All right, then focus on that. Focus on that energy. Live in that energy, but don't worry so much about how it's going to manifest. Spirit saying for some people, it's like, it's not coming through because there's something within your subconscious that's blocking it. For some people, it's just a lack of clarity. For other people, it's a belief system that still needs to be uprooted, that still needs to be rewired. I've been working with subliminals. This is something that I'm really passionate about. For certain reasons, I don't like to share the subliminals that I listen to because it's just like a weird, I guess you could call it I don't like to share that. If that's something that you guys are interested in, that's a project that I might work on in the future. Because I think it's really, really powerful, subliminals, but you have to trust the source. All right, because you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. You don't want to just look anything up on YouTube, right? Because you don't know what they're really saying. You know what I mean? But like, it can be really powerful. Subliminals, affirmations, yes. But affirmations only work when repetition works anyway, right? But affirmations really start to work when you feel the energy of what you're saying. So this is mind-heart coherence. This is another example of this, when you feel the energy of what you're saying. So it's like, you can say, what was it that we used earlier? We said, I am dripping with abundance, right? I am dripping in abundance. But do you feel that when you say it? And if you have difficulty saying it, try to conjure up what that would feel like by thinking of something else that puts you in the feeling of that. What makes you feel wealthy? What makes you feel abundant? Think of a situation, think of an experience, think of a moment, and then draw upon that as you say it. Start connecting the emotion with the words. That's when we start building new pathways in the brain, is when we connect the emotions and the words at the same time. One without the other doesn't work. We need both to start initiating and building those new pathways within the brain. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Raul. That's Raul. Is it Raul or Raul? That's something that I haven't. Raul is like a really American way to say your name, probably, right? I haven't thought about that. He says, understanding which galactic family you belong to in order to understand which affirmations to use. I mean, I could see how that could possibly be helpful. I think it's not necessarily, it doesn't even need to be like the galactic family that you belong to. I feel like it's more just like understanding your own energy, understanding the way that your own energy responds. Does that make sense? It's just like we said, of what feels good to you, right? Try different phrases, try different affirmations, see what ones feel good when you speak them. You know what I mean? And know that those are the ones that are for you. Some of the ways to identify what our subconscious beliefs are. Look at our reality. Our reality shows our beliefs, our gut reactions to things, our self-talk. All of these reflect our current belief systems. So once we begin to notice and become aware of these things, we become aware of our beliefs. And once we become aware of our beliefs, we can then start consciously choosing to think different things, to believe different things, to act in different ways. Hello, Hero Monster. Welcome. This is all about spiritual growth and evolution. We are all here navigating our spiritual awakening, our ascension journey together. So if you are looking to expand your consciousness, to raise your frequency and vibration, if you are looking to connect with your own inner truth, with cosmic truth, with galactic truth, whatever that means for you, then you are in the right place. Welcome. We are happy to have you here as a member of the Cosmic Rebel Tribe. All right. We're going to pull a couple of Moonology manifestation cards because this Leo full moon is big. There is a lot of manifestation potential with this energy. Clear. Particularly where we have Mercury conjunct the sun here. Just with that Uranian energy, just know that things can go sideways. All right. So that's why we want to just manifest more out of alignment than anything else, right? Energetic alignment. What's on the back wall? Are we looking at? I have a tapestry there. And then also got one there, got some books and some crystals, some cards. Clear. You're welcome. We are so happy to have you here with us. All right. Clear. Let's get some closing guidance, manifestation guidance. Working with this Leo moon for manifestation. Your energy is magnetic under this moon. You are either magnetizing what you desire or what you don't. It all depends on what you focus upon. No victory without defeat. Absolutely, Juan. I was actually thinking about that today. I've been listening because I am in this period of really working, I don't want to say working toward my goals because I'm working more with simply being in alignment, but really working on my mindset. So I've been listening to a lot of motivational speakers and I've been listening to a lot of really successful people talk about their success and their journey. And most successful people have some idea of energy and how it works, by the way, as well as a lot of times astrology. They say millionaires and billionaires use astrology, okay? But when we're working with the mindset, why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, because it was the quote that you just had about no victory without defeat. I was noticing how many of them talk about the number of times that they failed. Remember, we say on here all the time, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. There's so much failure that comes before success, right? We only see the success, right? So it's essentially comparing our insides to other people's outsides, right? All we see is the success when we see people that have made it. When we see people that are at the place that we want to be, we don't see what it took for them to get there unless they show us. That's kind of like what I've been doing with everybody these past 4 years who's been following this channel, is like in real time, sort of growing and evolving right alongside all of you, so a lot of you who've been part of this channel, you've been seeing this and you're going to continue to see this. And that's all part of the point, right? But a lot of times we only see the finished product. We don't see all the steps in between, but just knowing it's just so important and so inspiring to know how many times they failed before they got to that finished product. And just to know also that that's not the finished product because they ain't done yet. All right. They're just getting started. Anybody who is, I won't say everybody, but anybody who is truly in alignment is constantly growing and evolving. Right? The only constant in life is change. If you're not changing or evolving, you're essentially dead, right? Yes, I do read cards. I am reading some cards right now. I also go off on lots of tangents and just channel whatever spirit wants to bring through. And sometimes I just ramble on. Some of it's me, some of it's spirit. Use your discernment to tell which. You know what? You know what I mean? All right. People want to be in with the champ after the fight, but didn't want to put in the miles to get there. Absolutely, Rosa. That's why you got to pick your team carefully. All right, pay attention. Who was there before you became successful? Although you're always successful, right? So I don't even like saying it like that, but you know what I mean. Who's worthy of sitting at your table? Because not everybody will be. And that's okay. And that's not a judgment. That's just discernment. That just is what it is. All right. I like that, Betrot. That's essentially what I'm teaching here and what I'm learning is you can go to the front of the line without lifting a finger. It's all about becoming a vibrational match. That's it. It's all an internal journey. It's all an inner process. What is the game Tarocchini. I have never heard of this. Wicked Enlightened. How about that? I'm glad you're a monster. Whatever's working for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we're living from our hearts, when we're creating from the purity of our being, we're always putting God first. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I just read the cards. So we have release control and trust that all will be well. And this is first quarter moon in Taurus and new moon in Virgo energy here. All right, so this is the beginnings of a journey. This is the beginnings of a process here. So this is all about surrender, right? Interesting. On the bottom of the deck, we have last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Spirit's saying you've done enough. You've put in the work. You've put in the effort. Now it's time to receive. Now it's time to cultivate that energy of receptivity. You've done your part. Let Spirit, and Spirit's saying you've done your part. Now let me do mine. Kick back and get ready to receive, baby. That doesn't mean don't do anything, right? But it means you don't have to work so hard. This is what we're all meant to be learning right now. In order to create, that was the old energy. That was the old template, right? Like you got to work hard. You got to struggle. You got to strive. You got to push through, right? That's the old earth. That's the old energy. This is all about sitting back and simply waiting, like being open to receive, getting into energetic alignment, taking inspired action, and letting the rest work itself out. Simply being open. It sounds like mambo jumbo. Even to me, like it's taken me a really long time to realize that this is not to realize that this is the key, but to really like internalize what that means. That's it. This is the key. It's all we have to do. Take inspired action and remain in energetic alignment. We talked about this earlier. What is fear? False expectations appearing real. Stop worrying so much, Spirit. This is about having trust. It's the energy of free falling. I've been learning a lot about that. I'm currently having a transit of Saturn on top of my Jupiter. That's super fun, let me tell you, especially in the sign of Pisces. So it's been a lot of restriction, a lot in all types of areas. It's been a real test of faith, especially it's in my 9th house too, which is the house of faith. It is the house of Jupiter, right? So it's been literally my outside reality becoming more constricted, becoming more constrained. And that need and that invitation, right? Because this is always opportunities, invitations to continue to cultivate my faith, even in the face of not a whole lot of reflection on the outside. As far as like validation and reflection. But I think we're all going through that to one extent or another right now. Right? We got a lot of Saturnian action in general going on right now. As Saturn's finishing up in Pisces. Saturn moves into Aries on May of this year, then retrogrades back into Pisces during the later part of the year. Saturn's going to be connecting with a lot of planets, Neptune, Venus. There's a lot of tests of faith, crises of faith here for us as a collective, as individuals. It's all about learning to trust, learning to surrender. Speaking of the devil, there's that Pisces energy, full moon in Pisces, forgiveness, and the new moon in Gemini, thinking it through. Where can you forgive yourself? We talked about the energy of shame earlier. Where is there shame that needs to be released? Got two energies that represent duality here, right? Gemini with the twins and the Pisces with the fish. Pisces is also the energy of Christ consciousness, right? The fish, we can see it as the Jesus fish, right? And I love these fish. They're so beautiful, right? They remind me a little bit of the, what do they call the Japanese fighter fish? We used to have them. You couldn't put two of them in a tank together because they would fight to the death. There's something with that. The energy of forgiveness. We do not need to be forgiven, right? Forgiving ourselves is powerful, is a powerful act. But in the eyes of the divine, there's nothing to be forgiven for we've done nothing wrong. We may have forgotten who we were. That's what we came down here to do. That was part of the deal. We may have lost our way. But we are not inherently bad. We are not inherently wrong. And it's okay to make mistakes. That's what we came here to do. God expected that. In fact, God was betting on that. Because God wanted to have every single experience that there was to experience. Every single one of us is a reflection of God, and God is experiencing itself through our eyes. Every mistake that we make, every detour that we take, right? Imagine it like an infinite number of TV screens, and God's just watching all of these different channels, right? All of these different experiences. A story is not a good story if there's no antagonist, there's no protagonist, there's no hero's journey, right? Why do you think we incarnated in the first place? We come from bliss. We come from perfection. You know what I mean? Like, eventually that gets kind of boring. We want to have something else. We want a challenge. We wanted the excitement. So we came down here. And boy, did we get it, right? So forgive yourself. Life is, this human incarnation, we'll say, is too short to waste it feeling bad, feeling guilty, feeling resentful of ourselves or somebody else. Oh, thank you, Hero Monster. Welcome. So happy to have you here. Right? I want to get into this full moon in Gemini, this new moon in Gemini energy a little bit. We're going to tap into the old traditional moodology for this. What's this about? Let's think it through. Oh, look, we got that full moon in Pisces again. Clear. I mean, we've got the North Node in Pisces conjunct. Who is the North Node conjunct? Neptune. During this full moon, Venus is still loosely conjunct. Venus is at 5 degrees of Aries now, so she's moving along a little bit. Then she's going to come back around. She's going to hit 10 degrees and go retrograde at the beginning of March. That 9-10 degrees of Aries point is going to be hot this year. We got the solar eclipse in Aries at that 9-degree point. We've got Venus tracing back and forth over that point. Mercury, I believe, is going retrograde at 9 degrees of Aries as well. If anybody has any placements in the cardinal signs, this would be Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. You're going to be feeling that. That first decan of those cardinal signs. That is a big point of energy here in this first half of 2025. Trying to feel into anything else. My baby's crying right now. I want to make sure I'm going to listen and see and make sure he has somebody he loves very much that's caring for him right now. I just want to make sure that he's okay. So I may be going in a second. He sounds like he's winding out of it. Yeah, he's all right. You know, the mama gene popping up there. They are the moonology. So we started with the moonology manifestation. And I think these are on the list in my profile, the Benable list. And if they're not, I'm going to add them to the list after we're done here of my cards, because I should have these on here because I absolutely love these decks. So I made those quick little reference lists. So that way, if people have decks or things that they like when I'm doing these readings, you can go on there and you can find the deck. All right. So what were we? We're talking about this Gemini energy. We're talking about, I got distracted there with my little one crying. Somebody let me know what we were talking about. Before we got into that Aries, we were talking about Venus, Neptune. Neptune and the North Node conjunct at the end of Pisces, 28 degrees of Pisces. Venus now a little bit away. She's going to hit retrograde. She's going to come back. She's going to join them again. Saturn is on the other side of them. Saturn's going to get closer. As we move through the end of March and the beginning of April, we're going to have this essentially a stellium going on in Pisces here, moving from Pisces into Aries. And then Neptune is going to move from 29 Pisces to 0 degrees of Aries, still within this connection with the North Node, with Venus. Mercury is going to be in there, Saturn. It's going to be a regular menagerie of planets. This is going to be wild energy. So these themes of forgiveness, very powerful. That feels like a very relevant theme as we're moving through these Piscean energies here. This is forgiveness that goes back lifetimes. Pisces energy. It's the 12th sign in the zodiac. This is the karmic completion. So this is going back, rooting out that guilt, that shame from lifetimes and lifetimes here, clearing that out. This is a massive, powerful clearing. We had prosperity lies ahead on the bottom of the deck there, more Taurus energy. So we got a lot of, and we got that Uranus and Taurus, right? Continuing to shake things up. Uranus moving into Gemini on the 7-7. Oh yeah, there's that Gemini energy. And then retrograding back into Taurus, another one of the big movers this year. Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Does the universe have a beginning? Not really, right? I wouldn't say if anything exists, if everything exists in the eternal now and the universe is eternal, then I don't think there really was a beginning. I feel like there was a point of expansion when the one mind, the cosmic heart, cosmic mind decided that it wanted to experience itself as more. And that thought initiated what some people call the Big Bang. That's kind of the way that I look at it. That thought, that desire to know itself as more, to know all of the infinite possibilities of what it could be. I think that initiated this creational energy, this spark of energy, this negative and positive charge that then moved forward and created all that is. Oh yeah, Zach, is it a similar explanation to what I just said, or is it something different? I'm curious. Tell me more here about this Gemini energy, this think it through. What are we meant to think through? Don't let the past hold you back, South Node energy. And then we have Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. So this is once again that energy of not letting your fears hold you back. Not getting stuck in the mind. Your mind will hold you back only every time. Your mind is designed to think through possibilities, to give you all of the probabilities. But remember, most probabilities are based upon 3D ideas and concepts. They're based upon what we can see, taste, feel, experience. They're based upon what we've seen and experienced in the past. They're not based upon the infinite possibilities of the universe. So we want to be really careful with that mind energy. As soon as we start thinking of something, thinking about something, ruminating about something, that's how you tell your intuition, your spirit from your ego, right? That first thought, that first impulse is the spirit. All the analysis is the ego, is the mind. This is all of our reading. Everybody who's tuning in, Zach. This is a collective reading. When we let the external world validate our inner world, it creates our reality instead of us. Yeah, to a certain extent. It influences our creation of reality, for sure. We're creating by default then, right? Based on the parameters of others. So this is when I know that we're coming to a close in the reading, when we start repeating the energies and the messages, because this is taking us right back to, what was it? It was the 3 of Swords with the 10 of Cups energy here, right? Don't let the disappointments of the past become the disappointments of the future. We aren't doomed to repeat unless we choose. We can choose something different. This is like somebody thinking themselves out of some type of risk, some type of decision, some type of action that's going to be really good for them and help them move forward. It's the own mind holding you back. Thank you. Then we got the last quarter moon in Leo here. Lighten up. That's a perfect closer, considering this is the full moon in Leo reading. Clear. Don't take things so seriously. You know, that's like the final message from Spirit, I think. Don't take it all so seriously. Yes, it is serious in one regard, but in another, like that energy, Leo energy is playful. It's all about allowing ourselves to play, allowing ourselves to become childlike once more. Our souls are currently inhabiting a body, Father Brown. Our souls are energy. They're non-corporeal, but they can take different forms. In this dimension, they have this form, right? Which is a little bit, it's still malleable, but it takes a little bit more effort, right? Because we're bound by different laws, time, space, gravity here. In other dimensions where our energy is more fluid, we can take on any form that we choose. We can kind of ebb and flow with it, or we can be formless. That's how I understand and how I see and experience the energies. We can't necessarily forget the past, and we're not meant to necessarily forget it. Or maybe, I don't know. Actually, let me get back to you on that. Because to an extent, we sort of want to, because we want to retain the wisdom of the past experiences. But when we hold on to the traumatic imprints, when we hold on to the negative belief systems created within those experiences, that's what dooms us to repeat the past. So we don't want to hold on to that. We want to remember it, but we don't want to hold on to it. We don't want to become attached to it. Yeah. Well, that's what our mind's always doing. Our mind that's all it does all day and night, right? Just revisits. They say something like 85% of the thoughts that you think every single day. How boring is that, right? We literally think the same thoughts every single day. And the majority of people, those are negative thoughts that they're thinking. Those are self-defeating thoughts, disempowering thoughts. Our mind is a lot of times trying to work out problems. That's kind of what it's been geared to do, right? So it's trying to create problems where there are none, just so it can figure out solutions to problems that haven't even happened yet. What a complete misuse of energy, right? Especially when we think about the fact that our thoughts become things. So as our mind's creating all these problems to solve ahead of time, we're literally generating these things that we don't want. That's why I'm saying train yourself more to daydream, to think positive thoughts, to work with affirmations, to work with subliminals, to work with things that are enjoyable. Repattern your mind, and you can repattern your reality. Yeah, everything is now. The past and present only exist within our minds, right? Where we think about them. That's absolutely true. Be delusional. Exactly, Faith. Exactly. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You can believe the reality in front of your eyes, or you can believe the reality in your heart and your mind. It sounds completely counterproductive and ridiculous, but it's absolutely true. That's what I'm training myself to do. What some people might call delusional, right? All right, you guys, I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Next Wednesday at 2 p.m., we will be doing another live stream. I hope that many of you can join us. Every Wednesday, if it's going to be a different day, it is posted in the community tab as soon as I can post it for everyone. I like to keep people updated. I'm really enjoying having these consistent live streams with everybody. And especially where I've got so much going on right now, and I've been guided to go within to do so much internal work to focus on my loved ones, my family, just really zeroing in on that energy, my physical health. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So I don't necessarily have as much time to do a lot of the long form videos. I will be getting those last 2 signs out. I know Capricorn, I'm partway through your video. And then I have Gemini for the 2025 sneak peek still left to do. After that, the live streams are going to be the bulk of the meat of some of this for sort of the time being, where we're going through the energies. We're talking about the different things. I am going to try to get more of the moon videos done. But it was fun doing this one with all of you guys on here. So we're going to do what we can, and we're going to flow with it. And we're going to always know that we have these points of connection during the week, on the weeks where I'm not able to get as much content filmed for everybody. And I still do a lot of short form content. So that's why I'm saying follow DSOM minis or follow me on TikTok. Clear. There you'll get the shorter little readings and videos, and I'll be doing more of the little 20, 30-minute videos as well. And we're just going to go with it. We're just going to flow with it. You know what I mean? That's all we can ever do. I want to thank everybody who's new to the channel, who dropped by today and subscribed. Welcome to the tribe. And of course, sending love to all the OG tribe members. I appreciate you all so much. The links aren't working in the chat, or they haven't been. But if you go to the description box of any of the videos, there are links. If you want to sign up, subscribe to the channel. I have little perks and bonuses for subscribers. There's like it's like a $2.99 for like the basic membership. You get your own emojis, you get priority responses and shout outs, and you get previews of videos before they come out for everybody else. And then as the tiers go up, as we have people join those tiers, I will be doing our members only videos, members only live streams, members only shorts, stuff like that. So just as things grow and evolve, if that's something you're called to do, the Patreon as well, if you want to join that. We meet bi-weekly. We do just a connection off on Zoom, so we're not on YouTube. We're able to connect and express even more freely on there. We do some type of group meditation, usually focusing our energy wherever spirit takes us through that guided meditation. So the link to join that is also in the description box of all the videos, as well as my mailing list. And any of you who wanted a personal reading, or I do astrology, tarot readings, different types of energy healings, past life regressions, quantum healings, entity removals. Honestly, there's like the possibilities are infinite, right? So one-on-one coaching. If you're interested in any of that stuff, that's all in the description box below, as well as my website. I love you so much, Zach. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I look forward to connecting with you again. Manu, everybody in the chat, all my beautiful Ploon, everybody, Annika, I love you so much. Thank you for that donation. I feel like we should be donating to you for all the help that you give. Weeding out all the weirdos in the chat. We appreciate you so much. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. Enjoy this Leo moon. Go out, get a little bit of that moonlight if you can. Charge your crystals if you need to. Release any of those lingering feelings of self-doubt any of those lack of self-worth, anything that prevents you from being able to shine like the beautiful supernova that you are. Clear. It's time to allow yourself to be seen. And look at that. There we go. New moon in Aquarius having the last word here. Open up to change with that Uranus energy. We know that change is imminent. Didn't we say change is the only constant? There's so much change coming in for each and every single one of us. And it is right on time. All right. I'll talk to you all next week. And I'll hopefully see you in some videos in the meantime. All right. Love you dearly and infinitely. Bye.